Hello everyone. Today we will be looking at an example of using joints in Fusion 360 to simulate motion and some just linkage and kinematics between different parts. So this is an example of a race car wheel. There'll be 4 of these assemblies, but this is just one quarter of the car. So I'm going to spin around. You can see there's a bracket 1 on the left. Arm 1 is in blue. The wheel is on the right with a bracket. And then arm 2 is yellow, which is going to simulate where the spring and damper are going to go. So right now the components are free to move. This is inside an assembly. I'm going to unground the wheel. Actually, it's grounded. You can see a red pin next to it. So first we're going to go to joint. And there's different kinds of joints. We're going to be doing a revolute joint today. The first 3 are simple ones. The later ones are more advanced. So we will be using a revolute joint for things that spin around in a pin or bearing. So first we're going to click on the edge of the bracket and then one of the edges on those blue arms. Hit apply. And let's do that again. Go into revolute joint, click on one edge of the bracket and then the backside edge of that blue arm. Hit OK. And you can't tell right now, but those are in a revolute joint. If we ground the bracket 1, anytime you move components, Fusion's going to ask if you want to revert or capture that position. Doesn't really matter in this case, just say capture. So I've grounded the left bracket and you can see the arms spin around in those pins. I'm going to unground the piece, or I can delete it in the history tree in the bottom left. Right now only the wheel is grounded. So again, we're going to apply another joint. Just check the type is revolute. The wheel is grayed out or ghosted. So we can't select that yet, but we can select the blue arm. Click the edge on there, click the edge on the wheel bracket, and then say OK. We could flip it if we need to, but not in this case. And now you'll start to see some motion coming together. We're going to add another joint, check it's a revolute. Click on the edge of one edge of the hole on the blue bracket, and then the circular edge on the wheel bracket. Say OK. Now you can see that parallel linkage coming together. Think of this as a double wishbone suspension. Now let's look at those yellow arms. We're going to apply a revolute joint, this time on the back side of the bracket because we don't want those arms to run into each other. And here I'm just trying to simulate motion, but it's a little squirrely because it's not complete with the joint, so it's not a fluid movement yet. I'm going to apply another joint to the other yellow arm and to the back side of that wheel bracket. Say OK. Here I'm trying to get that yellow arm to spin out of place. It's not doing what I want it to do, so I'm going to ground the rectangular hunk of material, and now I'm able to spin it around and then delete that grounding so it's free again to move. So we're going to insert a joint. This time it's slider. And we're going to click on the rectangular faces that are closest to each other. Make sure to click in the middle point. and they match the corresponding point. And now we've finished all our joints for the whole assembly mechanism. Here we see the motion that we expect. The yellow is going to be the spring or shock and compressed when the chassis drops. You can see the angle numbers change on those little teal flags, and then there's a dimension on that yellow arm. I'm just giving a rough number. So we're going to switch the relative motion. I'm going to unground the wheel and then ground the bracket on the left. And now we can see it from the chassis point of view. The wheel and the linkage are going to be swung up when the wheel goes over a bump. All right, and that's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.